Hey guys, what's up? Super Mazio here. Um, Welcome to my room. I admit it's not as tidy as maybe you would like it to be, but I'm working on it. What are we doing today? We are doing the first of probably several videos um, going over my new album. If you haven't heard it, it's called Mind Map. You can check it out on just about any platform that you like to listen to. Spotify is probably my go-to, but it's also on YouTube Music, iTunes, stuff like that, and of course here on YouTube. So check it out. It's been a lot of fun. Been working on it for a couple months now. Probably start of this year is when I started conceptualizing stuff. It's been a lot of fun seeing people's reaction to that. But I wanted to take us through each song individually. Go to the Logic session, dive into the musical aspects of it, but also talk about the lyrics and sort of the background behind it. Um, and we're going to start with Mask, which is definitely a favorite of mine. I've heard a lot of people say that that's one of their favorites on the album. So we're going to go over Mask. And the reason why we're doing that one first, we're not going to go in the track order on the album. We're going to instead go in the order that I wrote the songs. And I think that sort of, the album was curated to tell a specific story, take an emotional journey, if you will, which is all well and good. And we'll talk about that, why I chose the order that I chose. But I feel like this will tell a different story, taking you through the order in which I wrote them and why I wrote them and sort of how it evolved over time. But, anyways, here we go. Watch this. I figured out how to do this. 3, 2, 1. Boo! Yeah, how cool is that? We're in Logic now. And look, we already got it pulled up. How special is that? So here it is. Here is Mask. You can see there's a lot of muted stuff. A lot of muted stuff. And we're going to talk about my process. We'll spend a little bit longer talking about that here, my process specifically, because it's kind of the same for the other ones too, and we don't need to talk about it all those times. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, this one is, it's not too complicated. We got guitar, we got bass, and we got voice. And there's a little solo in there that we'll go over. But for the most, sorry if you hear any background noise. For the most part, that's about it. So, what do we get right off the start? We get a quick little intro. Now, here's what I do with guitar. There's probably better ways to do this, but this is what I do. I record. So that's the pattern throughout on guitar. That basically stays consistent. So now there are 3 tracks here, but they're the same. I duplicated them twice, and I panned the bottom 2 pretty hard. You can see 37, 36 both ways. And those are EQ'd to bring out the higher frequencies. You can see the ones that are panned, this is what the EQ looks like. It says ultra bright, I modified it a little bit. And then the center one, this is what that EQ looks like. And so that's not really so with the outer ones, I amplified the higher frequencies. You get a little bit of that, the string noise, the tinniness, which I kind of like being on the outside. It sort of envelops your ear in this sound. You can see if I just had one, that's fine, but then, it's just like, it's like a hug, It really, and again, there's probably ways to do that without doing what I did, but this works for me, so that's what I do. We'll talk about the chords and stuff in a little bit. I just wanted to go over the specific, that sort of stuff. So, but that's not all you're getting. You also have this. I think this is it. So I put on the clicker here. That's all that is. Literally, it's just looped. It's like 4 bars of that looped. And that really adds that sort of percussive element that you need here. So, one last thing here. This is the thing for me. I really like to do acoustic stuff, and one of the reasons for that is that I honestly don't. I'm not a percussionist. I'm not a drummer. I don't really know how to mix that super well. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I like to keep it pretty sparse when it comes to percussion. And what I do, I like to just do it in unconventional ways. I'll like take a wooden mallet and I'll beat on a can of LaCroix. Literally, I'll do that. Like it's a running gag in my videos to always do this at some point. And for this one, the drum here is me just punching the guitar, not super hard. I didn't just boom 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 boom. That's looped, and so this is all the percussion that you're gonna get on the wall. Yeah, and that's literally it.
Another day.
Oh wait. Oh what? Hold on. What is this? Oh my gosh! I totally forgot that was there. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, I mean, look, that just shows you how like subtle it is. It kind of blends in. But yeah, you got this and that's just a MIDI orchestral sound. I use those a lot, to be honest with you, to sort of supplement. I try and do real sounds, like again from just unconventional things, but then I supplement it with the MIDI sounds. Like if I might do an actual clap in a song, but then I'll take like the hip hop kit has a good clap sound and I'll layer that on top. So you know, it's sort of a hybrid. If you have some real element in there, kind of fools the brain into thinking that it's all real. But either way. Anyways, I think that's enough of the guitar. Actually, no, I'm getting distracted, but this is cool. I'm gonna switch back. Boom. And I'm gonna grab my guitar. Oh, my headphones. I'm sorry. I should have brought this closer to me. Close to you. Here's my guitar. Say hi, everybody. Doesn't have a name because I'm not one of those people. But let's see if we're tuned right. Yep. So this is capo 5th fret. I could have done it a number of ways because we're in the key of C. And there you go. You play like a G chord and there you got the C. So if I was gonna play this song live, I might actually switch it to have that strumming pattern. So you've got C, you've got D over F sharp. I'm sorry, not C. I'm like mixing up guitar chords and like concert chords. You've got a G chord. I'm just gonna say the chords on the guitar. G chord. No, it's not that. It's so yeah. A wide array, and then you've got an F chord. A wide array. What is it? Yeah. Then you've got a guitar C chord, but I have it played over A the first time. So you got another day, another act, a wide array of plans to enact, and then. Anyways, you could figure it out. They're not too complicated chords. I just wanted to show you where the capo is, just to get rid of any confusion. And then yeah, for the thing I was doing, what is it? It's been a lot. It's been a while since I've actually played it. Something like that. You can figure it out. And that guitar is going over there. We'll bring it back later because I'll show you some more guitar stuff on my other songs. But there you go. So now you can play it yourself. Let's finally get into these lyrics. I'm excited about this. So I don't often use this. Oh shoot! Okay. Sorry. Boop. I'm just like Jacob. Here's the lyrics. I don't usually use this. I usually have like a notes app pulled up somewhere else, but just for simplicity's sake, I've put it here so you guys can see it easily. And let's see. Can I make that smaller? Well, okay, that's a little too small. I'll just leave that there. It's fine. There's not much happening in the session itself. So. Here's my lyrics. Let's talk a little bit about my process here. You can see, what are all these muted tracks, Miles? I hear you asking that. I'm glad you did. This is by far the most effective way for me to do stuff because, listen, guys, a lot of the stuff I do is kind of on the fly. It's not meticulously planned. So the guitar part, I usually have it pretty well figured out after I've been fiddling for a while. I know what it's going to be. But with stuff like the bass, even like melodica solo, sometimes I just like to let it go. You can see I can go to time. We can see exactly how long it is. Right now we're at 2 minutes. I think that's what it was. And it goes all the way up to like 20 minutes. So basically, for 20 minutes, that's not even that long for me. For 20 minutes straight, I was recording guitar. Just recording the different parts over and over until I got a good take. And then I would go through, you can see I would cut out the parts that I wanted and put them all together and then bounce it all as a track so it's one region at the end. But that's what I did with the bass too. I played bass for, 12 minutes straight, just the different parts. Took it out, took the best parts, and there it is. Melodica, same. Voice is a little different. Usually I do go ahead and record that all the way through, like 4 or 5 times. In this case, I guess only 4. And then I went through and I took the best ones and I put them together. That's kind of what I do. I know there's a lot of methods to doing that. In other projects, I will, use this thing. I'll go to specific couple bars and I'll record all the parts for that. That's more for like the acapella stuff where I'm confident that I can get it right like the first or second try. For this stuff, it's like I'm just going to press record and go, cut it all up, and put it together later. That's sort of how I go. So, this is the final voice track.
Another day, another act, a wide array of plans to enact.
Yeah, so this one, it's pretty dry. I did Prince Hall one, whatever that means. It's a pretty dry sound. And then as far as the voice goes, the gain is a lot higher on this one. And then I chose to go with a vocal presence, I guess. Sometimes I'll do a different EQ, which you'll see in my other songs. But this one really amplifies the high end, which is good because the lead is a lot higher in this song, which was a choice.
Open up the closet, wooden faces on the wall.
So yeah, that voice is a bit in the higher register, which is cool. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So I guess we'll talk about the lyrics at the end. That seems like a good choice. Let's get through the whole song. The good news is it's pretty repetitive, so once I talk about a specific thing, we can sort of just carry it throughout the song. Okay, here we go. So,
wide array of plans to enact.
This is fun. Another day, another act. So we got dum, and then we got dum dum doo doo dum. So we got 1 5, then like flat 7, and then 4, which is fun. It's interesting. I realized this later on that this like chord progression and the melody is almost the same, just a lot faster, of a song that I wrote like 3 years ago called Give It All to You. It's on my YouTube channel. You can listen to it. It's not great. It was the first song I ever like finished. But it was like da 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 da. It was actually a different key. I think it was da da da. No. What was it? Da 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 da. So yeah, it was in B, I think. So you can listen to that, and I sort of just had that in my mind, and I brought it back for this song, so that's cool. I do like that chord progression, it's fun. So then, yeah.
Open up the closet, wooden faces on the wall.
Ooh, fun little bass lick there, we're gonna go through those.
Which one for today? Might as well take them all.
So that's going pretty high right there.
Which one for today?
Which one for today? Ugh. I can't always get it right, but...
Which one for today?
It's early, give me a break. But yeah, that's fun. Might as well take them all.
Yeah.
And what's happening in the guitar? Yeah. So that lick shows up a lot. Oopsies. Da, 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 da. So you get to the C early there. I think that's called like an anticipation. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a music theory nerd. Da, 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 boom. So yeah, I like that. That's fun. And then we just repeat second verse there. Let's get into this bass line here. So interestingly, sometimes the bass is like one of the things I record later. Sometimes the bass line is like your foundation. You record that first, and it's like carrying your whole thing. But in my case, the guitar is like what carries the progression and sort of the style of the song. Then I add the lyrics. Then I'll usually add the bass before I like add anything else. But here we go. So it's pretty simple to start. This is, of course, my U bass. Love that thing to death. Yeah. So that's pretty simple, just following the chords. But this is like a motif that shows up a lot that I really like. So here we go. See, this is like, let's play this with the guitar here. No, not this one, this one. So yeah, just in this little empty space here, it was kind of empty, and I thought of this cool like little dum 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 dum, and I think it's pretty cool, and that is modified throughout. Let's find some of the other ones. Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that one's a little gentler. Dum, 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 dum. And my favorite one, I think, is that's the same one. Where is it? Yeah, so that one's during the melodica solo. We'll get to that. But yeah, so yeah. But yeah, so that's fun. And you definitely can hear that in there, which I really enjoy. So that's about it for the bass line. If there's any other cool part that I like, we'll point it out. But it's just pretty simple stuff. That's what I do. I start simple. There's the boom, boom, dum, dum, doo, doo, dum. And then I'll do some other stuff like dum, 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 dum. So I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. And then dum, 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 dum. You know, I'm not a bass player. I really started playing bass like literally in January of this year. And it's been really fun. I really enjoy this U bass. But, you know, I'm just sort of BSing stuff, and it sometimes I land on something that's really cool, which is awesome. Let's go to the chorus, because there's some cool vocal harmonies here.
The smiles, the frowns, the face of a clown.
So what are we doing here?
The smile.
So we're in C,
The
but
smile. The frowns.
so we get an A minor,
The frown.
and then a D. What?
The face of a clown. The face.
So this is kind of a 2-5-1, I guess.
The frowns. The face.
Boom, boom, boom. So we have a D major. That's like the unexpected thing. So we have the A minor, then D major.
Smiles. The frowns. The face of a clown
Oh,
is
now we're back to C. Clown.
always the same.
So that's pretty cool. What's the vocals doing?
Smiles, the frowns, the face of a clown is always the same.
It's pretty simple stuff there.
The smiles, the frowns, the face of a clown is always the same.
I left that a little rough. You know, it's fine.
The hopes, the dreams, and whatever's in between, it's all just dreams, and whatever's in between, it's all just a game.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
The shining eyes, the gleaming teeth, but they don't know what's under.
No harmony there.
Only tell them if they ask. Never ask. So just put on the mask.
There we go. It's pretty fun there, I like that. So that harmony is pretty sparse, and it only shows up in the chorus. But I knew I just needed something there, something in the chorus to brighten it up. And sort of carry that like unexpected chord progression a little bit. Here we go, melodica solo. So I've done a lot of solos in this album. I did play all of them, but some of them were, or one of them was composed by my father. But here we go. I love melodica. I've put melodica solos in a lot of my stuff. It's pretty fun. I had a trumpet solo in one of the songs, and an electric guitar solo. That was one my dad did. Is that it? And then there was some like flute stuff, but that wasn't really a solo. Am I missing one? Oh, there's like mandolin. There's mandolin solo. That too. Yeah, ocarina. You know, all the works. We'll talk about all that stuff. This is a pretty simpler track. But here we go. So here's a melodica solo. nice. That's pretty fun. There's a couple things here. There's more reverb on the melodica solo. You can definitely hear that. It sticks out. And that was an intentional choice. I like how that is. You know, you got this dry, like, sort of atmosphere of sound. Melodica comes in. It's like a little more like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It just feels a little more distant, a little more detached, because it's a little more floaty. So you can find the right word that works for you. But you can hear that reverb in there. So right here, this was like sort of just, again, like not improvised per se, but just fiddling around, playing like the same section over and over, playing a bunch of different things, and then splicing together the best of what I enjoyed most. So right here, it doesn't sound too interesting. Like you're just, I mean, it's cool, it's fine. You're playing the same chord twice. But what makes it interesting is the B flat that's in the bass. That adds a little spice to it. So that's what the clash is. If you play just the solo, you don't notice it, but the bass line. Oh yeah, you get that that tritone there. Then you get that resolution. Yeah, I don't have much to say about how I came up with that. Again, it was just fiddling around. I'm not like, again, there's no secret that I'm not a technical wizard on any of these instruments. I like to keep things tasteful and sparse when I can, just because like I can't go blisteringly fast on these things, and that's okay. Like I would love to be able to do that, and I'm always working on getting better at that. But sometimes, you know, it doesn't have to be that way, and that's a good thing because I can't. So there you go. And then we have the same.
It feels the
Same sort of verse there, same formula, didn't change much.
face of a clown.
Chorus is basically copy paste.
So just put on the mask.
Yeah, so we got a little slow down there, but I wanted to talk about this last part. It's pretty interesting. So I like this, like, the bass is a slow walk, dum, 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 and the guitar is still doing the da, 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 so it gets there early, and the bass is, like, behind a little bit, so it's cool. So... yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing. I don't know what that's called, how to describe it, but it's cool, and that's all that matters. Did I just accidentally unmute a track? I don't know. But that's about the... What is this over here?
I sacrificed the ups.
Oh gosh, let's not listen to that. That was me, like, I guess trying that last part because it was tricky. Where is that?
I sacrificed the ups so I wouldn't have the downs.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Takes me through the wide range. So I wouldn't... Okay, well that's the song, guys. That's really the song. Let's talk about these lyrics a little bit and how it relates to the music. So, obviously if it wasn't clear enough, the song Mask refers to, I guess, a facade, a mask, so to speak, that many of us put on to sort of hide how we truly feel, to act like everything's okay, maybe to just to be strong, whatever's necessary in your life to do what needs to be done. A lot of times you have to put on a face, put on a mask. So let's talk through some of that. That's something that I definitely can relate to. I wanted to speak to. Another day, another act. You know, yeah, another day, another something. That's a pretty common saying. So I just, you know, an act, as in of like a play. You know, an act, facade. Wide array of plans to enact. So much stuff to do. You know, there's a lot to do. You wake up. You're like, all right, well, there's all this stuff on your list that you got to get to, no matter what. Open up the closet, wooden faces on the wall. I just like this image of you open up your closet and there's like just a bunch of wooden faces. Like, I don't know exactly what I was picturing, but you open up the closet to get dressed, and you're getting dressed. You're just looking up, and there's all these faces you can put on to like hide how you truly feel. Which one for today? Just take them all. You're gonna need them all. Just take them. So that's just a little funny thing. The silent deed, the passive stare. The silent deed. Honestly, this is something I can relate to. Um, I'm always doing something, you know? I'm always doing work, working on something. A lot of times it's fun, but a lot of times it's just something that needs to be done, and I prefer to do it in silence and just take it on and not really bother anybody else with what I have to do. Like the schoolwork, I'm always really busy with school, doing hours of homework every day. And it's oftentimes just much easier for me to just do that in silence and not really complain, not really talk about it and, doing, the tasks I have to do at my job. Um, you know, you just do it. Sometimes you just got to do it. So the silent deed, I guess that's what I was sort of talking about there. The passive stare, just sort of this blank look I'm imagining, passively staring ahead, maybe staring at somebody while they're talking to you, whatever it is, hides the need for a massive repair. So it's a little cute little rhyme there. Your face, can hide what's happening in here, the need for a massive repair. Things are broken that need to be fixed, but you're hiding that. It's part of the design, apathetic smile, part of the design, whatever that means. The petrified expression, it fools them every time. Petrified in this case means like just frozen, not necessarily like scared. So the petrified, frozen expression fools them every time. I gotcha. So here's the chorus. The smiles, the frowns, the face of a clown is always the same. Pretty self-explanatory. Just think of this clown with a smile just plastered on its face, no matter how it's actually feeling. The hopes, the dreams, and whatever's in between. I kind of just like that. I liked that line. Whatever is in between of hopes and dreams, I don't even really know what that means, but I just thought it was a cool rhyme. It's all just a game. That's pretty nihilist, but what are you going to do? The shining eyes, the gleaming teeth. Again, I'm thinking of just a visage that's like, happy, shining eyes, gleaming teeth, you're smiling, it's just a mask, whatever it is. But they don't know what's underneath. Right. Here we go. Only tell them if they ask. They never ask. So, and it's important how I sang this too, I think.
The dreams, it's all just a game. They don't know what's underneath. Only tell them if they ask. They never ask.
So, what you can hear there is only tell them if they ask. Now listen, guys. People will ask. People ask me, I have lots of people in my life that care deeply about me, and I'm very appreciative of that. And people do ask, if they see something's wrong, they're going to ask. I'm sure you have people like that, where they're like, hey, you doing all right? Like, you seem off, something's wrong, you okay? So people do ask. But there also will be times in your life when you feel like nobody's asking. And maybe you've gotten so good at hiding it that people think you're okay. That's the real thing. It's like if you get so good at wearing this mask, people might not ask, not because they don't care, but because they've got stuff on their mind, and they are gonna focus on things or people that they feel are visibly, clearly struggling, and sort of the people that are very good at putting on this face and acting like everything's okay and just doing things, doing what they need to do. People are going to look at you and say, oh, they're fine, they're doing good. They would tell me if they needed something. When it's like, yeah, that's probably a good thing if you are able to tell people if you're struggling or if you need some help. But sometimes you just don't have it in you. Sometimes you are just going and you're waiting for somebody to ask you, are you okay? And what's wrong? So only tell them if they ask. Keep it to yourself unless somebody asks you, because sometimes it's, you feel like you're burdening other people if you tell them what's going on. When that's usually not the case, if people actually care, they want to know. But then you have this little quiet, they never ask. So only tell them if they ask, and then they never ask. It's not true. They do ask. People do ask. And I'm very, very thankful for that. But I just wanted to throw in that little oof, that little gut punch. Like, they never ask. Like this wistful, person who's just dejected. They just keep going and nobody is asking them how they're doing because they're so good at wearing this mask. That's just like a little dramatized version of how things are in my life. I'm not trying to paint this picture like nobody cares or nobody asks me what's going on. But that is a real feeling. Sometimes you feel like, nobody really knows what's going on in here. Because at the end of the day, they don't. Sometimes you don't even know. But there you go. So that's what that is. So just put on the mask. It's a nice juxtaposition between the happiness like of this song and not happiness, like the jaunty, like upbeat nature of the song, the brightness, and then like the darkness, the sadness of the lyrics. And that's a fun little juxtaposition to play around with, because making a sad song is all well and good. And I feel like you got like this sad little tear-jerking chord progressions, but this one really doesn't. If you listen to it without lyrics, you're like, oh, this is a fun little song. But there you go. I mean, here's the lyrics. So, last verse, probably my favorite. Play this game for long enough, it feels the same when I take it off, right? That's a real thing, too. If you put on a mask for so long, sometimes that becomes your natural state, and you are in this petrified state always. If it's difficult to take it off and to start feeling things again, allowing yourself, if you are constantly pushing it down, pushing it in, sometimes your brain's like, all right, that's what we're doing. And then when you want to actually feel again, it's difficult. So that's the thing. It's like a roller coaster that doesn't go around. I really like that imagery. I like that line there. Here we go. Probably my favorite two lines here. You can barely see it. I know my face is covering it up. It's right up there. I sacrificed the ups so I wouldn't have the downs. Whew. Ooh, that one. Like, it's all about this middle ground, right? It's this middle ground. It's difficult to have it all. You can have the ups and the downs, but it's pretty turbulent, You have high highs and low lows. It's tricky. It's tough. It's nice sometimes, but it's devastating other times. So you can seek out this middle ground where maybe you don't get knocked down as easily, but on the other hand, you don't get excited as easily. You're more blasé, you're more just sort of cruising, and sometimes that's a good thing. Some people they really need that, if they have especially turbulent life or turbulent stuff going on, where they are constantly experiencing these like super high highs but also like devastating lows. Maybe working towards that middle ground is good, but you can also go too far with that where you don't have really downs anymore, but you've also sacrificed your ups in a way. So that's something that I'm always trying to find the balance between. And I would say my tendency would be to go too far into that middle ground where I'm just sort of the same, like a roller coaster that's literally just like this. No changes, no matter what's going on, just constantly. And I can put on the mask. I can act all like happy and excited. I go to work and like I'm talking to customers, I'm talking to my coworkers, everything's great. But deep down on the inside, it's just the same, which is good because like during a really stressful day, it doesn't really affect me that much. I'm easily able to make it through. But also, something exciting happens for myself or for somebody else, and I find it difficult to be authentically excited about it. It's just like, yeah, cool. It's just another day, So that's the thing. That's the balance there. And that's what that line sort of says. I sacrificed the ups so I wouldn't have the downs. And I played with that with the lyrics too. Sacrifice the ups, going up high, and then so I wouldn't have the downs. I also just wanted to flex my range a little bit, but what are you going to do? And then the last chorus is the exact same. That's the lyrics for you. Oops, I meant to catch that. It was a horrible throw. But there you go. So that's the song, guys. This is definitely a little bit shorter. It's not the shortest song on the album, but it's one of them. It's fun. This was fun. This one was actually released months ago as just a single before I sort of knew that I wanted to do like a whole album. And I figured it would be perfect with the album theme I was going with. I was like, oh, I've already got a song for it. So I sort of like put this one away for a while. And then I keep coming back to it because there's something about it I really like. I really think it's a pretty solid endeavor from myself, if I do say so myself. And I hope you like it as well. I've heard a lot of people say that they liked this one, or it stood out to them musically and also with the lyrics, which is pretty fun. Next up, if you liked this, let me know, and I will be sure to do the next one soon. Probably what was the next one that I wrote? Uh, Gosh, I can't remember. I think it was. I know empathy was one that I was conceptualizing pretty early, but I don't think I finished that one till a little bit later. I'll figure it out. I'll remember which one it was that I wrote next. It might be empathy, but it might also be. What are even the songs? Gosh, you'll have to excuse me, guys. Um, Let me see here. I have a special folder with that has mind map in it. Uh, well, it was probably chalkboard. Yes, it was chalkboard. So we're gonna go through chalkboard next time, I guess. If you did enjoy this one, so let me know. I've had a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I like talking about this stuff. So actually, let me go back here. Thank you guys for watching. And I should see you guys very soon. I'm working on a lot of projects right now because, spoiler alert, I just quit my job. Yeah, that's right. The job I've had for 3 years. If you know, you know. And it, for various reasons, won't get into that now. But I've got a lot more free time until school starts in late August. So I'm just churning stuff out, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. We're just going to keep it going for as long as I can. So there you go. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a good one. Peace out.